Extreme sideways motorsport action. Drifting is all about controlled slides around a series of corners. And now it is time. The smoke and the lights go down onto the figure eight. This big crowd here tonight have enjoyed the show. It's been smoky, it's been loud. Watch for that proximity, watch for the angles. We go sideways in the final.
I think I've seen some.
Whoa!
Man, a big unload here.
Final corner, and Abbott backs it in and backs it in too much. He loses it.
Yates showing us exactly how well he can chase, almost disappearing from the camera, he's so close.
Winner of round 3, Mote is on that door. That was so close, and a little bit of bodywork comes astray. Jeffrey nearly loses it, and loses about 4 car lengths. He's going to get pounded here for proximity, and there it is, a 7-3. James Abbott has done all he needs to do. He will be champion for season 2014. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our very special live broadcast. We're online and we are definitely live. The next hour or so could be very, well, interesting, to be honest. We've got a whole range of live guests coming into the studio tonight to talk all things drifting. We've got some big announcements to make. We've got some big names to be joining us as well, including the defending series champ from last year in the figure eight drift series. We're going to have the big names like Beau Yates. We've got Scott Schembri and a cast of thousands, it feels like, tonight. And you can also be part of the show at home or wherever you're watching from around the world on the Motorsport TV app. Get your questions into us. The lines are open, so to speak, as they'd say in the classics, or in a bit more of a modern day sense at least. I've got my iPad at the ready, and you can get your questions to us in the studio by following the links on Facebook and also on Twitter with the hashtag Hi-Tec Drift. So we're going to throw out a few questions, and we want you in the comments to give us some questions, and we're going to work our way through. You can ask the boys specific questions, whatever you want to know about drifting, how you can get into it, whatever you want. This is your chance to make it happen. It's going to be a very, open-ended show, to be honest. My name's Chad Nolan, and joining me right now in the studio, a big warm welcome to the 2014 Hi-Tec Oils Figure 8 champion himself, James Abbott, and the Drift Kid, down from Queensland for tonight. Thanks for joining us, boys. And
hey, Chad.
are you as nervous as I am?
Oh, I'm a bit shaky. I think it'll be cool.
You guys won't be used to this. We're used to seeing these guys, obviously, in race suits. We've got you out of the race suits, helmets off. This is what they look like when they're not out there doing battle in the drift arena. And are you a bit more nervous about the questions that could be coming in tonight?
Yeah, well, see if I can string a sentence. I think I'll be all right. I'm looking forward to hearing what some of the fans want to know, maybe answer some questions, and yeah.
We don't really have the adrenaline running through us
here,
so
it's a bit unusual. I reckon we should just get some tyre smoke or something going in here to ignite the senses. Abbott, 2014 champion. It was a phenomenal year for yourself. You went to a number of finals, I think 4 or 5 podiums for the whole year, 3 event wins. Could you have asked for much more?
Yeah, definitely had a good year. Had a lot of luck go my way, which I was very appreciative. Got the team that looked after the car, had it ready for every event, and the sponsors, Three Fingers Neat, with us again this year.
There we are, doing your thing.
Oh, there's me on the podium.
Hamming it up.
Yeah.
Slap on the back from the Drift Kid himself. Yeah. I especially like the big signage on the door, the lights and everything. You guys put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, I think every 5-year-old is our biggest fan with those lights.
Speaking of 5-year-olds, Nick Coulson, welcome to coverage today.
Thanks,
the Drift Kid himself. How long have you been working on that little goatee that you've got going on there?
This is about 13 years.
I was just drawing it on in the break. With it.
It's actually fake.
It.
It's a complete fake one just for tonight. Your season was not bad either. We saw you get to a couple of final round battles, but unfortunately you couldn't quite step on the top podium like this fella.
Yeah, well we had 2 seconds, which was good, and put us a decent place in the championship. But we've also had a couple of bad runs, as you do in some of your drifting. So unfortunately we had one where we didn't qualify at all, and unfortunately that really hurt us in the championship. But you get that. That's part of drifting, so we're fine with that.
In the Achilles Ute, alongside Joel Goff, will also be appearing on the show. Why do you go drifting in a Ute? Any reasons?
Well, we originally drifted the Ute because we wanted the engine and the gearbox for our old car, and it rocked up and looked pretty cool, and we thought, why not, let's drift a Ute. No one else has done it yet, so we'll give it a crack.
Take your engine home in the back of it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Bring the spare engine in the back.
Round 2 or round 3?
Yeah, round 2, I think. Round 1. Yeah. We laugh now, but the time was pretty serious.
It wasn't fun.
Remember, if you've got any questions for these guys at home, now's your chance to do it. Get on Facebook. You'll find the links. Put your comments down there, and hashtag Hi-Tec Drift is the way to do it. The figure 8 circuit was where we did combat for 7 rounds this year. Tight and twisty. Proximity was the name of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely on that track. As drivers, we sort of, I think, prefer to be out on the faster flowing tracks, but we learnt over the course of the year that that track is awesome. Like, so had so much fun there, and just you get something different from every track. And this track is proximity. Just being able to drive up and literally touch doors while you're sideways is definitely gets the adrenaline going.
That's what we're talking about right there.
that.
I mean, how tight is this tiny little bullring circuit, Nick?
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, being the smaller track, obviously the speeds are a little bit slower, so you get that chance to actually get up onto their door, like Abbott said. But yeah, like getting up onto the door there, and those certain corners are just they're hard, but they're fun. It also gives you that advantage on when you go to the bigger tracks. It actually gives you a bit more experience. So.
There's Camo alongside doing battle. Very, very close with Beau Yates. Both those guys are going to be on the show, so if you've got any questions for either of those two, now's your time to do it and make your opinion voiced. We have some massive news, which we're going to break right now online for the loyal few watching at home, and this is really exciting stuff. We have a complete new rebrand. Last year it was the Hi-Tec Oils Figure 8 Series. This year it's a brand new name, and I like it as well. It is the Drift All-Star Series. And there's a very simple reason why we've dropped the figure 8 out of the name. It's because we're not going to be racing at the figure 8 for every single round. Boys, we're taking it next door to the South Circuit. Abbott, it's a fast place, it's big, it's windy, and it's a great spot to watch drifting.
Yeah, love that track. Have so much fun there, and again, being the home advantage, definitely looking forward to that. I think we're tossing up the idea of maybe trying a different layout that hasn't been competed on before. So they'll be bringing a new element to, you know, everyone that's driven that track many times. There's going to be all new. There's going to be no advantage, and also something for the crowd to watch, something different.
Nick, you went to the final battle up alongside Levi Clark, a fellow Queenslander, at the South Circuit for Formula Drift Asia. What are your thoughts about getting back there for 2 rounds of our championship this year?
Yeah, definitely. It makes up for a bit of a mix-up instead of having all the figure 8 track. But I mean, a couple of figure 8s are a good chance to get up nice, tight, close battles, and also a chance to really hold the throttle open on the bigger track on the South Circuit and really see what the cars have got as well.
Here are the dates on screen right now. Drift All-Star Series, thanks to Achilles Radials and Hi-Tec Oils. And it kicks off very soon, February 27. Mark that one down. We'll be under lights at Sydney Motorsport Park at the Figure 8 circuit. We're back at the Peanut to wrap up the championship, December 19 as well. But there's more news about that. What that calendar didn't show you is that we're going to be taking this series to Adelaide, or South Australia, as well as your hometown up in Queensland. You boys must be pretty excited about taking the show on the road. Yeah,
definitely. To add a track like Queensland Raceway is going to be heaps of fun, I think, and you know, there'll be a massive after party at Coulson's house. We'll put it on Facebook, and everyone can come. Probably have thousands.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun to finally have a event in my hometown and have the boys up and, you know,
host us all.
Host you all, like you guys have me, like obviously down here in Sydney. So, but yeah, to have a round in Queensland would be awesome, as well as Adelaide. So mix it up a bit.
All right, well, good news is the questions are flowing. It didn't take long, remember, just get on Facebook, find the post, and in the comment section you have a chance to pose a question to the boys tonight. Anyone particular that you want to throw a question at? Well, now's your chance to do so. We've got Al Sharker, Joel Goff, Beau Yates, Schembri, Camo. They're all going to be on the show tonight, as well as these two right now. And the first question of the night, pretty simple one. It's a nice, easy one to warm your boys into it. Your favourite place to go drifting in Australia? I'll kick that one off with the reigning champ.
On the track?
Which track?
Like I was saying before, every track adds something different. You can, you know, different skill set, and driving the same track all the time is going to get a bit boring. And yeah, also just doing the travelling is awesome with your mates, getting away for a weekend.
Yeah, mine would probably be Barbagallo. I think Barbagallo is definitely one of my favourite tracks.
So fast.
It is. It's a fast track. I love that speed. Those speed tracks
yeah,
where you have to get a lot of speed into it, and that's a big thrill for me. So
cool track to link together as well, Barbagallo, up through the S's and over the hill. It's got a lot of elevation as well. We're going to see some big names returning to drifting this year in 2015, including the man who beat you to the title at Formula Drift Asia this year. Maybe a chance to get some revenge against Levi Clark this year.
Yeah, had a couple of battles with Levi before, and we're good mates, so we shake it off. We have fun, you know, every now and then. Who's keeping count? I mean, both of us are actually keeping count.
Levi probably is on that one.
We're keeping count now, but Yeah, no, it's all good fun. So.
Well, you're the champ. You're the reigning champ right now. You're going to have a bit of a target on your back. John Papadopoulos, another name that's going to be coming back to the series this year. We're going to see roughly 16 contracted drivers, I guess. We're going to take this circus on the road. How do you feel about some of these big names coming back?
Oh, I love it. As a competitor, you want to compete against the best, and to have like names like Michael Prosnick, Papa, Aggies, and Levi coming down, plus all the people we have in last year's awesome drivers as well. So that's how it's going to progress, is just get the best drivers we can on the track.
A lot of people at home want to know a bit more about the South Circuit, in particular what it's like from a spectator's point of view, why it's a bit different to what we're used to seeing in the figure eight. What are your thoughts on that, Nick?
I think obviously the figure eight's very close and very small speed. So I mean, some people like that. Like us drivers, we like to get up close, obviously on each other's doors and have a bit of a play and hit each other a couple of times. But obviously with the South Circuit, it's a lot faster, as you can see. It's like a lot more speed involved. And
check that out, Mad Mike Whittett and Beau Yates going toe to toe.
Yeah.
Look at the wheel work in particular. This track, left to right, is pretty frantic, Abbott.
Yeah, you sort of when you drive that track well and properly, you sort of watch the wheel spin through your hands. It's a blur. So
is that Max Arito?
Looks like
going at it, there's Levi Clark,
you can see
winner that day.
You can see in the background there's like a natural amphitheatre. There's sort of like a valley or a hill that the crowd can get a good view of the whole track. So it's really good for drivers, it's really good for spectators.
I thought you were going to say in the background you could see Scott Schembri getting absolutely smoked.
Yeah.
In the background. So we're going to hear from Scott Schembri a little bit later on, runner-up in 2014. It is fantastic news though for the series, this expansion. Where do you see it going from here? I mean, it's going to be fantastic to go racing in other places and seeing these big names come back.
Yeah, as far as I can see, it just looks up and up. So it's definitely going in the right direction with the right drivers, the right attitudes, and the right people pushing it forward.
How about yourself, Nick? I mean, you've been involved with this sport for a long time now. Would you say this is a resurgence?
Oh, it's definitely going to progress. It can only get better, I mean, especially with the drivers, like Abbott said, with the drivers that are coming in, the different tracks that are being involved. It can only get better. So.
All right, here's one for you guys. We've had a question sent in from Zach Saltmer, and he says, hey guys, I'm wanting to get into real drifting. He says he's got some RC drift cars, which he's been getting into. He's loving it, but he wants to step into something real. What would be the best way to go about doing that? He wants to get his first drift pick, he says.
Right.
What do you reckon? Drift school?
Probably get a U, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer and say probably, jumping into the drift school is your first step. You'll cut so much learning time off just coming sitting in for a day, or you can do as many courses as you want, but even just a day would sort of take you from the basics right through to sort of like a medium level drift, linking the drift, and you're massive head start.
Dan Mackey, who's been online tonight, wants to know which car Abbott will be racing in this year. We're going to see you back in the 350 Hi-Tec Oils car that you campaign at Formula Drift Asia.
I would love the opportunity to drive that again.
Boss is in here. He's listening tonight. This is your chance.
Hey man.
Let's get him out here and make it happen right now. We'll put him on the spot, I reckon.
Yeah. Should we? Can you squeeze him under the table a bit? No, I think for the main series, I'll be campaigning my own car. That's what I feel most comfortable in. The 350Z is such an awesome beast, but to get a bit of track time in that and sort of develop it a bit to my driving style, is what I would need to sort of be really confident in doing well.
I have some people online asking, are the rules and regulations going to be the same for all drivers this year? Is there any favouritism within, or is everyone playing on an even playing field this year?
I reckon everything's really even playing field. Like us boys, we've been drifting for a while, so we're kind of used to listening to what the judges are asking for and that sort of thing. So it's really a listening game with what the judges want, isn't it? It's just
it's how you interpret what they want you to do, and whoever does it the best is going to come out on top.
Yeah.
This is a good one that's just been flicked through on the iPad. If you could drive anyone else's car, whose would it be? I mean, we had the pretty impressive Toyotas rocking in for Formula Drift Asia, the brilliant NASCAR motor-powered thing. Would that be on the list, or would you like to get behind Mad Mike Whittett's quad rotor? How about something like that?
I think Schembri owes me a drive in his car after the last round. But I don't know. I might drive your car and just straight in the wall, mate.
Have a go of the year, eh? Yeah.
Sorry.
What do you reckon?
Oh, mine would definitely be probably Asbo's car. I'd love to drive that thing.
No, I don't think
Big
so.
NASCAR engine thing, the Toyota 86, that thing just looks like so much fun.
It hammers, doesn't it? I saw him at the FIA Awards as well, up there with guys like Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton getting awards. So he is an internationally renowned drift driver. We've got plenty more to get through. I especially like this one as well, though. Unlimited money. Quickly, guys, if you had unlimited money, what would be the next drift car that you'd build?
Oh, man. I think...
We're throwing some tough ones at you tonight.
Yeah,
You're a Nissan man.
I really love Keith. Keith's my car, the S15. It'd obviously need a bit of a cosmetic makeover, but I love the 2J in the S chassis.
I'm kind of the same, Like, I'd stick with my ute. I want to go maybe a VF instead of a VE and go to the next model up and go a VF.
I think we spent so much time and effort and money on them to get them to the point they are.
You just love them too much.
Yeah, you can't just like go on to the next one.
All right, well, thanks very much for joining us today, guys. Any quick tips for 2015? What should we be watching out for?
Me. No.
Modesty. We're going to watch it. We're going to keep an eye out for Modesty in 2015, Nick.
I don't know. There's a lot of big names coming in here, so I don't know. It can be anyone's game.
All right, well, when I say that we don't really know what's coming up next, I mean it because you guys are controlling the tempo tonight. Get your questions in on Facebook. Get them in on Twitter as well at hashtag Hi-Tec Drift. On the other side of this, we're going to welcome in Beau Yates, our Sharker, and also Cameo Mote for a bit of a chat. So if you've got any questions for either of those three guys, and I can tell you right now, a few have been coming in for Beau Yates as well, a couple of Toyota fans maybe, then this is your chance to get those questions in. We're going to have a quick break, and as we go off to that break, it's time to check out what was a fascinating year in 2014. Stay with us. Sydney Motorsport Park, it's a venue where we can enjoy all kinds of motorsport, and today it is the Hi-Tec Figure 8 Drift Series.
See Abbott flicking it in there hard, but Birds is right parallel with him. This is great to see.
Very, very close. He's been stuck to that right door all night, and around goes Abbott. Have a close look.
Oh.
It's close.
I think we can see there that it looked like Birds had touched him.
He's going to cruise out in front right now because there's just no need for Abbott to get right up close to him through the final corners. The Hi-Tec Figure 8 Drift Series, round number 1, and it looks likely that it'll be going to James Abbott.
Looking at the back, oh, where has Birds gone? He's right up on the door.
That's the proximity we were talking about, just about makes contact with his right front tyre. Absolutely pounding. Needs to bring it home in style. Coulson not leaving anything on the plate as he goes right to the clipping point across the finish line. And this one's going to go to Fernando World.
Nothing in it between these two. The final, this is it. Who is going to come out on top? Abbott is all over the back of Coulson. He's right on the ragged edge of getting off the circuit.
New sparks there, and they've come around again. I think I've seen something.
Oh, man, a big unload here. This will hand it to Abbott almost certainly. Very, very sideways just then, right on the edge. Oh, he hit the edge of the racetrack. That's what happened. Got off the edge.
Abbott, check this out. Abbott pushing a bit too hard and ripping the rear bar off that car. That would see him qualify down in 14th. Winner of round 3, and Mote is on that door. That was so close, and a little bit of bodywork comes astray.
Exchanging a bit of paint there. I'm sure they've got each other.
Oh, no!
And a big spin from Cam. He is going to be upset.
Cameron Mote has thrown it away. This is going to be a 10-0. Schembri has been to 3 finals so far this year. The 4th one tonight could be the time for him to win his first round for 2014. One more corner to go. He's got the proximity there or thereabouts. He knows he's got this one in the bag, surely. Strong run, Scott Schembri. Turning back the clock, Fernando World driving like he did in the earlier rounds so far this year. Needs to get that proximity back in the mid part of the corner. Good angle from Abbott.
A weapon with aggression here. He's right on him.
Final corner, and Abbott backs it in and backs it in too much. He loses it. We're going to see another 0 in a final. I think this is like the 3rd time already this year.
As we come to the uphill section here, it's going to be interesting to see the high-powered 350Z if it puts a gap on. But no, Yates isn't giving anything up.
Oh, this is living up to the hype. You'd want the last battle for the year to be nice.
I'm sure he's going to put something down here right to the track edge and gone.
Oh, here we go. A little bit of a gap opened up. This is not quite like the chase we saw from Beau Yates earlier. And Camo might have just let this one slip out of his reach. That's how you celebrate. Congratulations to Beau Yates for his first win. The boys, let it all hang loose. Cannot wait for season 2015. Congratulations, James Abbott takes the trophy and the cheque from George Gambino. He has been the #1 man all season long.
Don't miss a second of the action. Every corner, every shift, every heartbreak. See your motorsport as it should be, live and free. Download your Motorsport TV experience now. Hi-Tec engines need Hi-Tec oils. We know you have the need for speed. Let Motorsportstv app feed your addiction and fuel your passion. Monster crashes, live coverage, TV episodes and news. Don't get left behind. Strap yourself in for one hell of a ride.
And then this happens, chasing down Ant Billick towards the bottom corner. Championship defining moment coming up right here.
Both these drivers have been known well to really throw down on the peanut track. It's good to see them together and contact. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Possibly a break check from Yates.
And this is the big shock though. Nick Coulson, this spin would see him miss the cut. #2 qualifier gone.
Now he's normally putting on a great show, and even though he's found, he did not disappoint. Keeping a tip to the fans out there, right on the track edge there with the entry, and he's putting a very nice line here. Could have gone a bit wider onto the outside clip, but the front bar is gone. There has been some contact.
Now have a look at how close this is. Ferdinando Well getting very, very close, monstering the back of the little 86, and there's the mistake. That's what pressure does. Ferdinando Well can only slam on the brakes. Henry doing a nice job to catch that, but the damage was done. Plenty of thrills and spills in 2014. Hi, welcome back to Hi-Tec Drifting Australia, the special live broadcast in the Motorsport TV app. We're taking your questions on Twitter and Facebook, so go in search of that stuff and fire through a few more questions. They're coming in thick and fast. We've changed out the panel. It's Coulson and Abbott out, and a big welcome to Beau Yates alongside him, Camo and Alex Sharker. Welcome down, guys. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, good.
Had some pizza, so you're pretty happy?
Yeah, no, I'm full now. It's good, yeah.
For those that are unaware, Beau spent about 20 minutes complaining that the pizzas were late tonight, and thankfully he's up and running now. Camo, no, you were sticking off the pizzas tonight. You were taking it easy.
No, I got there before anyone else got there, so yeah.
Clever.
I went through them, yeah.
Al, we know you probably... What are the Sharker name from, especially drag racing is one thing that I'm familiar with it with. What made you go the corners and hills and curbs and sideways stuff instead of going in a straight line?
Well, as per usual, you grow up doing something and you sort of get brought up into it and you do the opposite. So I went sideways while they kept it straight.
My dad's a truck driver, so I kind of found the first thing that was as different to that as I could get. Big year for yourself, Beau. It had its ups and downs. A bit frustrating at the beginning, but you got a bit of head of steam up towards the end especially, and got to a final with this guy alongside you, and, might I add, you bet him. You got him, smashed him.
Yeah, it's good to race up against these guys. Yeah, I had my fair share of dramas throughout the year, but you know the car's pretty dialed now. It's actually undergoing some pretty extensive changes over the last couple of weeks. So
Here it is.
Come out first round firing.
You say extensive changes. Your wife is in the studio tonight. When's the last time you saw her? Because you've been living in the workshop.
Yeah, literally living in a swag at Hypertune, actually working on the car around the clock. But you know, hopefully we got it ready for the first round of the Hi-Tec oils, and no, I'm just looking forward to getting back behind the wheel and hopefully making plenty more of that stuff.
Yeah, that was a good sight to see. The celebrations from the last round of the championship, which is what we're watching right now, were pretty good as the boys circled around you and did a couple of victory donuts. Camo, let's talk about your season. We saw you in a few different rigs, especially the last round. We got you into the 350 as well, and that was a pretty special event. You even went to the final. Yeah, I started off the year in my own car, had a few breakages and then colour changes, and then I got the seat in the 350, and it was definitely a cool car, and that's it there, yeah. What's with this helmet design, by the way? You've got a massive cheesy grin on the outside of it. Does it match the one on the inside? No, the other one's just plain face on the other side so that the passenger doesn't get scared and thinks I'm serious. A bit two-faced like Batman style. Yeah, it takes me a bit more serious than the other side. Good to finish sixth in the championship given the fact that you missed a few rounds. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I wish I had sat through with every series, but I just had some car dramas. With a couple of reruns with Nick, I went into the pits and hit the pole with my car and bent some arms, so that was me out. So the other racers are out too. So yeah, I was happy to get in the seat of the 350 for the last round and come up against Beau and then take out second. I was pretty happy with that. Now the other big announcement, guys, courtesy of Hi-Tec Oils, is that we have the Hi-Tec Oils Drift School. We're revamping it in 2015. It's going to be bigger, badder, better than ever. It's going to be once a month at Sydney Motorsport Park. And I'm happy to say that the guys sitting alongside me are all going to be instructors, as well as big names like Molly Taylor, who's a rally star. We're going to be bringing in people from outside of drifting, like Renato, who's a pretty much full-time worker at Sydney Motorsport Park and has raced, Ferrari GT cars. But you guys in particular are going to be sitting alongside everyday people like myself who have zero driving talent and teaching them how to go sideways. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting to be engaging with the public, obviously, and getting the average punter down to strap him in the passenger seat or even let them have a drive. So I'm just really looking forward to getting down there and teaching these people some techniques.
Cam, you seem pretty unflappable, but what about if you're alongside someone who's not quite sure how to go sideways? Is that going to unnerve you a bit? Yeah, I'm not very good in the passenger seat. I always tend to drive everywhere, but yeah, no, I'm keen to get in the passenger seat and give off what knowledge I have, if any. And I hear, Alex, that you guys are going to bring your own cars down and could take some passenger rides as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll show the passengers what we do as a passion. So if we can show them what we can do and if they can put it down in a school car, well, that'd be great.
From a Toyota point of view, Beau, you must be excited about this. We're taking delivery of 3 brand new Toyota 86s ready to go racing. Tell us a bit about them. What can people expect from the Toyotas and what do they like to go sideways in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked with the decision of the Hi-Tec Drift School to obviously get 3 86s on board. Obviously, it's a car I've been competing in for the last 12 months and I don't know, I can look at it more seat time in the same vehicle, but they're a fantastic little car, really agile, really good handling car and probably the perfect car for drift at this point, so I'm just really excited to obviously have Toyota back on board and have the 86s in the school.
All right, so if you've got any questions about the drift school, now is your time to ask them as well. Remember, Hi-Tec Drift, on Twitter and also on Facebook. We've got a few questions flying in. There's one in particular that I wanted to throw you, Beau. It comes from Scott S. I wonder who that might be. And it's why the long face?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a running joke, but yeah. They all think I'm a little bit too serious, but I don't know, whatever. Scott's
going to realise that he's last on the panel tonight, so he's probably going to be the one guy who's copying most of it.
No, he's a joker.
He's a bit of a joke. Let's take it over to you, Camo. This one's from Emerson, who's thrown us a few tonight. Thank you very much to Emerson. What is the biggest thing that you face when approaching qualifying? So that's quite an interesting question because the guys go out there and if you don't make the top 16, you're out. It's happened to some big names. Even guys on this panel tonight know what it's like to not qualify. What's the hardest thing about qualifying, Cam?
Luckily enough, I haven't had that issue, but it's very... pretty much I just go out there, I do the hardest lap I can, and then I just do a safe lap. But it's definitely nerve-wracking to spin it out.
Another one that's come in from Emerson as well. I'm going to throw this one to you, Alex. Is there an advantage in being the chase car or the lead car?
It can go both ways. Again, if you put down a solid qualified lap as your lead run, you should have no problems sort of securing the points there. But as a chase, you can just push as hard as you can. So in my perspective, I like to chase. Whether I do a good job of it or not, it's another story. But I don't know, I do a good lead run, so I'm happy to do both. I don't think I've got an advantage or disadvantage either way.
Plenty of questions flowing in on Facebook and Twitter at the moment. I'm going to break away from that just quickly to ask your boys' opinion on the South Circuit. We are going to be extending the championship away from the good old-fashioned peanut, as we lovingly call it, the figure eight circuit. What do you think about that, Beau?
Yeah, I was one of the fortunate ones when Sydney Motorsport Park opened up the South Circuit for drifting. So, I'm stoked to be back on that. Obviously, it allows the guys to spread their wings a little bit and get a bit of speed up and, showcase what we do best. So, no, I'm really excited to get back on the South Circuit. It's
a really cool spot to watch from, isn't it, Camo? Because you get up on the hill and you can pretty much see the whole thing. It's fast. It's got massive undulation. Really cool.
Yeah, for us drivers, the figure eight's a bit of a little teaser, like an appetizer, and then the South Circuit's sort of where it's at. It's a higher speed. Bigger dramas if you get it wrong, but it sorts everyone out, who's got the talent and who doesn't, sort of thing.
Here's a question that I quite like in particular. I'm going to direct this one to you because you've been around this sport probably longer than most people can possibly say that they have been since its inception. And how have you seen the sport grow?
God, Chad, I've seen it, highs and lows. Like I first started competing, 2003 or something. I was a runner-up in the Australian series back then, and got an Australian championship way back then as well. But it's different. There's a few different levels now. There's a lot of club levels, and I think it's in a bit of a lull right now. And I think what Hi-Tec's doing with this format and what we're doing with the All-Stars series, hopefully it can bring all the big teams and drivers together, because there's a whole, there's a lot of talent in this country and a lot of good teams and drivers. And I think to get them all together in this series and push it through Speed Week and everything we're doing with it, it's on the up. So, no, I'm really excited.
Definitely a resurgence. If you've just joined us tonight, welcome, hello. And the big news earlier is that we have rebranded the series, the Drift All-Star Series. We're going to be visiting South Australia as well as Queensland. So the sport definitely on the up in 2015. This is a good one. What do you guys like to do before you go drifting? Now, this one's open to anyone who wants to touch on this one. What do you do? Listen
I
to
tend
music?
to enjoy loading the car up, because if you don't load it up, you struggle the rest of the night, I find.
Any family time, some meditation? Do you fall asleep in the helmet? Anything crazy?
Nah, good shower, shave, and then lucky undies, get him on, and then hopefully not shit yourself.
Can you
say
format?
that? Yeah, I'm sure they'll bleep it out.
Yeah. I'm sure we can bleep it out in post. Wait, that's right. Have you followed that similar format tonight? Just not the shave?
Yeah.
And not the undies, didn't
Yeah.
Threw out the window, he shit himself on the way in. One bit more technical, this one, guys, so a bit serious. Aiden says, or asks, I should say, what's the best steering mod for bigger angle? Cam, any hints on steering mods that you can make to get a bit more angle?
You can buy off the shelf, items which are sort of any aftermarket knuckle. I've got it down sorted now. I don't want to push any particular knuckle because I'm not, I just sort of use what I got. I just think steering and tie rod modifications is pretty much what you need.
Another question coming in directed at you this time is the V8 combination was an interesting one this year. Are you happy with the decision that you made? Do you regret it? Are you glad that you went that way?
The V8 was definitely good for a budget reason. It just starts and drives. It was a very reliable package. There was no complaints. If there was anything wrong with the V8 package, it was just a little bit boring through when you need to open up with big power. But at the end of the day, it's if you're drifting on a budget, the V8's the way to go, because it's just reliable. It just turns on.
We'll take it over to the Mazda boy sitting at the end of the table. Definitely no V8s under the hood of the RX-8. Tell us a little bit about the car.
Okay, so Mazda RX-8, I actually bought it with a blown up rotary engine. That's just standard for them. So I actually put a...
You're selling it to us really well right now.
No, well, I went and put a Toyota 1JZ motor in it, and the day I did that, it's been unstoppable. It's done every event, broken everything around the car, which is normal as well. But yeah, that's right. But you just run with what you got, I suppose. I'm happy with the JZ engine. I'd probably put that in almost anything. Beau's, going through and putting the 2J in his Toyota. So it's a solid package, I suppose, and I'm happy with it. So
it's preaching the converted when it comes to Toyota fans down here. What would it take for a guy like me to be able to learn how to drive like you guys? I know we've got the Hi-Tec Drift School. Is it as simple as going to school and learning, or how long does it take to be able to hone these kind of skills, guys? I'll start that one with you, Beau.
Well, I think, first things first, you just get down to the school and give it a crack. I think, all the boys on this table and everyone that's on this show tonight, it's, we didn't learn drifting by sitting on the couch and watching these programs, but I think the first thing, get down to the school, and obviously after a day at the school, you're going to obviously learn some pretty good techniques, and I think by the end of the day, you'd be somewhat on your way to, entering an amateur level competition, or however you want to look at it, you're going to learn some pretty good techniques just over the space of a day.
It's true. Another question that's been thrown in your direction. You're getting all the good ones tonight. It's from Dan. He says, will Beau ever smack talk anyone this year?
I try and keep it pretty clean. I'd leave all the dirty stuff for on the track, I guess. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Probably Schembri or someone, maybe.
He's asking for it. He's in the studio and he'll be on camera very shortly to field any questions that you might have for Scott Schembri tonight. Has there been any good, not biffo in the pits, but any good, hot topic discussions, guys? Everyone seems to be pointing in the direction of
This
Cam.
guy's pretty hot-headed.
Is that right?
Go at me after one of the rounds, but no, we're all mates, and it just depends. When the red mist comes over and you're in behind the wheel and doing what we do, anything can happen. But testosterone levels were obviously high that night, and but we're all friends at the end of the day.
Another one coming in. How much drifting is too much drifting in 1 year? Is that even a thing? Is it
I don't
possible?
think there's such thing as there. No.
Do as much as you can afford.
Yeah.
That's probably
I'll be
good.
doing it
Even
every
then,
day
keep
if I
going.
could.
Yeah.
And hear it from the missus.
How about yourself? What's the most events that you reckon you've squeezed into a year? I mean, given the amount of turnaround time, given the fact that you're quite literally tearing the car down to its bare shell, how much time do you afford to actually go racing and trying to live a normal life?
What do we do? 7 rounds of Hi-Tec last year, and plus other numerous rounds around the country. So, there's a lot of disciplines in this country that maybe do 1 or 2 rounds a year. So we're squeezing, 15, 20 rounds into a year. So, I think more the merrier, really. The more seat time you got, the more you can hone your skills and perfect what we're doing. So, that definitely showed in my driving this year. The more seat time I got, the better results I had towards the end of the year. So, I'd do it every day if I could.
Do you find that with the fact, Cam, that we've only got the 4 rounds at the moment scheduled for the championship, there will be more when we bring in South Australia and Queensland? Does that just mean that you'll be working on the car more? If you're not racing, you're working?
Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll just be more driving and feeding the car more tyres. That's what I'm hoping for this year. I've also changed to the Toyota 1J this year, so all of us are running the 1JZ, and hopefully that's reliable for me and cooking the tyres, hopefully.
You bring up an interesting topic there, actually. How many tyres would you guys go through in a night? I mean, roughly a set of rears per battle, or would you try and get at least 2 battles out of them? What do you reckon?
I think Alex nearly goes through half a set a night.
No, I think, for example, my last round, it was only a day event. We went through 18 tyres. So.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of tyres, yeah. I've got a double tyre stack on my trailer, and yeah.
Man, I guess it kind of makes commercial sense why Achilles would get involved. It just makes a lot of sense from that point of view. We also saw guys, Scott Schembri in particular, was popping a lot of tyres. Is that something that happens quite regularly in a pass, or is it jumping off the bead lock or stuff like that?
Yeah, I think, the guys are running pretty low pressures. Like, a lot of people are under the, perception that drifters were on crappy tyres. I'm out there on a NTO5 Nitto, which is obviously it's a premium grade tyre on very low pressures to try and get the cars to hook up. So it's not about how slippery the tyres are, it's how much forward drive you can get as well. So I think the beading issue is obviously the guys running very low pressures to try and get good speed to be able to get good proximity to the car in front. But yeah, we're definitely not slipping around on cheap tyres. They're premium grade tyres on the back of these cars, and obviously at 18 tyres in a day, it's pretty good effort, really.
We've been getting a few different ones in particular from this guy, Max Power. I appreciate this one because it's another Toyota question. How is the 2JZ build going at the moment?
Yeah, the car's going to, I look at the car like a tool, like we're all professionals, and what we're doing in the sport, this is our tool. So I'm just kind of, the old motor was good. It was just a little bit short on power. It's proved to be really reliable, but I think with the 2JZ, it's just like a tap, how much power do you want? You just turn it up. So, we're probably 80% of the way there. We're just waiting. Christmas was a bit of a knock for me. Parts got delayed in America, and Titan Motorsport sending over bits and pieces for the new 2JZ engine. But, the boys at Hypertune, we're working around the clock, and obviously we want to try and turn the car around for next weekend or whatever, but we're definitely under the pump.
This could be a bit of a difficult one to field, but I'll throw it out there anyway. It's kind of related back to the drift school again. People wanting to know, are there budget options to go and join the drift school? Do you reckon it'd be a good way to get involved as a budget drifter going to the school?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely a lot cheaper than owning your own car if you can go out there and learn in someone else's and then set up what you want to do from there. What car, what chassis you prefer, what driving style you prefer, and then just do the school and get your skills sorted before you go out and invest in a car that you're not sure about.
Beau seems to be pretty popular tonight. People want to know, yes, you're in the current day 86. What happened to the old girl though?
Yeah, well, obviously that got damaged, over 12 months ago now. Main focus is obviously getting the new car to work. It's proven to be pretty good. Really excited to get behind the wheel of a 6-cylinder with heap of horsepower, but, one day I'll pull the old car out and fix it up. But, I definitely haven't got rid of it. All the parts are stowed away under my house and the shell's sitting in storage there at Kirrawee, local to my house. And, when the time's right, I'll pull it back out and, hopefully do some of these comps at the Hi-Tec oils.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a massive 2015, guys. What are you most looking forward to? Just quickly, we'll go around the table, start down the end with yourself, Alex. The Hi-Tec or the Drift All-Star Super Series this year. What are you most looking forward to?
Trying out the new South Circuit, get some big rubber under the car, fast tracks like we've got South Australia, Queensland to do. So push as hard as we can and get a heap of tyre smoke happening.
Camo?
Yeah, just as much track time as possible is what we're after this year, and locally, which is good. So the bigger tracks local is going to help us a lot with everyone getting keen to drive,
Beau, the show?
I just want to kick ass, really. Try and get back up the top and, maintain, just try and get up the top, really. Kick these blokes' ass.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Return.
There's a bit of smack.
There we go. The smack talk's already
Kick
started.
Schembri's ass.
Schembri's coming, by the way. So if you've got anything you want to field the way of Scott Schembri, now is your chance to do it. Well done, boys. You've done well tonight. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio. We're going to go off to a quick break once again. And on the other side, yes, it is time for Scott Schembri. He's also going to be alongside Joel Goff. There's been some questions coming in for Joel tonight. So a couple of local guys up next. And as we go off to the break, this is definitely worth checking out. Some highlights from the onboard vision that we had in 2014. And there were some wild rides. Check this out.
Don't miss a second of the action. Every corner, every shift, every heartbreak. See your motorsport as it should be, live and free. Download your Motorsport TV experience now. Hi-Tec engines need Hi-Tec oils. We know you have the need for speed. Let Motorsportstv app feed your addiction and fuel your passion. Monster crashes, live coverage, TV episodes and news. Don't get left behind. Strap yourself in for one hell of a ride.
Yes, the South Circuit, it is pretty badass, and it's back in 2015 for 2 rounds, so far scheduled at least, of the Drifting All-Star Series coming to 2015. And coming to the studio right now, it's time for our final battle on the final stretch. So this is your chance to get your last-ditch questions in. Hashtag, again, remember, Hi-Tec Drift, and also up on Facebook, throw your questions into the comments area, especially if you've got questions for this guy, our next guest. It's time now for the runner-up in the series, Mr. Scott Schembri, who's looking very afraid to be on air tonight. And alongside him, I think maybe this is why he's afraid, the muscle that brings the glamour to the drifting circuits as well. He competed in 3 of the final rounds so far this season. Big welcome to Joel Goff.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, guys, let's get into it. We are on the home stretch. I'm going to start with yourself, Scotty. A lot of changes coming into 2015, and it was a good year for yourself, but you just fell one step short, didn't you?
Yeah, and we decided to start the year, I'll give it to Jabba before I even got into it, so that was the plan, and it worked out pretty well.
Well, I think we might need some kind of subtitles for you tonight. So you say pretty good year. I mean, come on. You were the only guy out of 41 competitors who didn't suffer, did not qualify or first round exit. You were the only guy to go into the final 8. That's pretty good consistency.
Yeah, and I can't complain. My car killed it all year, man. And obviously by the end of the year, I had a lot of confidence by driving on the figure 8 track. It was awesome. So I can't complain. I'm ready for this year. You know, I've got a few things to fix to my car, get it going, and then just put it to all these guys. Goffy here, mate.
Goffy, let's quickly get one from Muscles over here. You've got one of the best presented teams on the drift circuit. It is absolutely wild. The Nissan looks spectacular, and the best part is it's your own brainchild. You designed the entire livery, and then you went and wrapped that delivery. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's it. It's just we get a better feature out of it, so to speak. Doing it ourselves, getting it more across to the crowd. As you can see now, it's definitely
it's a wild bit of kit. How long did it take you to design it?
It took me all about 3 or 4 days. I kept changing my mind that much. Like I am now, still a bit undecided what I want to do. But yeah, definitely grabbed the attention, got a lot of exposure, and it did its job. So that's what I was up chasing, and it did exactly what I was looking for.
How many other kinds of race cars do you design? I mean, do you work in other kinds of motorsport?
Yeah, heaps of other motorsport. Done a lot of sprint cars this season and last season. That's probably my main part of motorsport work. I do a lot of track cars as well, so a lot of designing and keeping me busy.
Did have a question come through to you. What's Joel doing for 2015 wrap-wise? Since we're on the topic right now, what's the plan? You got something up your sleeve?
We have been working on a bit of a design. It's a bit up in the air at the moment. We've got finalising some sponsors for this year. We've got a couple of new sponsors on board. We're going to make the wrap a bit more sponsor-friendly, not so to speak, cartoonish, a bit more racy, so stay tuned.
Now, it was a great year for yourself on the figure 8 circuit, but now you're going to have to stretch it out a little bit and take it to the South Circuit, also maybe Queensland and a trip to South Australia coming on board. Does that add any extra nerves, Scott?
Nah, I don't get nerves, man. No, I love it. You know, like, South Circuit, it's one of my favourite tracks, man. Like, the bigger the track, the more I get to cook tyres, the more I get to rate my car, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I built this car to drive it hard and run into people, and that's what I'm going to do, man.
Do you see the competition changing much? I mean, we've got Levi Clark, you've got Papa coming back.
Man, we got massive. We got Aggies coming back. Robert Bellino coming back from his little stint in Italy, learning to make pizzas and stuff. You know, Levi's coming down. We got Cookers. We got Goffey. It's going to be a massive year. If all the boys, you know, step up a little bit, then we might have some competition.
All the big questions are coming in at the moment. You do spend a lot on tyres, obviously, a lot on the car, but probably the biggest hole in the budget this year that you have to find is for hair products.
Yeah, no, lucky I got a new sponsor on board. Just want to wear Moose hair.
You're the only guy that's not worn a hat tonight, I think, apart from me.
Yeah, I thought it was good branding, just hair product. If anyone wants to sponsor me, I need a bit. I cut my own hair as well, by the way, guys.
Let's talk a bit more about sponsorship, actually, because we've got Achilles Radials signed up for 3 years. Fantastic, and a big thanks to Bruno Miolo and the whole team at Achilles for that kind of backing. It's important, isn't it, that we have commercial partners that help you guys go and do what you do?
Oh, 100%. You know, at the end of the day, we put a lot of time and effort into our cars, like the boys said. You know, we're not here just to muck around. We're here because we love this sport and we want to be the best at it. You know, these major companies coming behind and pushing us, you know, that's what's going to get us to the top. At the end of the day, you know, we want to be the best at what we do. And these guys are here to help us, and we're here to help them push their brands. At the end of the day, it's just like a little family, everyone helping them get to the top.
Well, I'll throw this one to both of you. We'll start with Joel first up. I mean, you've had a little bit of experience now running on the figure eight circuit. Slower, with more closer proximity, I suppose is the way of saying it. Door-to-door stuff. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer to run on bigger circuits where you get to stretch the legs a bit?
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the high-speed circuit, something that we haven't done yet, other than a few track days down at Wakefield where we're doing a bit more high-speed stuff, but definitely looking forward to that third, fourth gear, so it's, and baking tyres big time for sure.
Same?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I love South Circuit, coming over the hill, just first, second, third, raping your car, throwing it as hard as you can, and pretty much just standing on it all the way up the hill, you know what I mean? So I can't wait to throw it down with all my ICU brothers. You know, we got Levi on board now, Abbott jumping on board, Pros, Jabs, Papa, Aggies. You know, they're all out there to cook tyres, and that's what it's all about, putting a show for the crowd at the end of the day. Without the crowd and the support, you know, we don't have anything. We're just out there by ourselves. We want everyone to come down and put on the best show we can for everyone. And the day, that's what it's all about. The more these boys are all on board this year, so it's, you know, it's awesome. It's trying to just expand and grow.
I could say the crowds that we've been seeing throughout 2014 were pretty special. The Formula Drift Asia event that we had on the South Circuit, big crowd. There were barbecues, there were blokes hanging off the back of utes watching. It was a really good vibe. But especially the figure eight circuit under lights, when you're in there and it's your chance to see all the people around you. Do you get a little bit nervous then when it all kind of kicks off? I mean, the whole amphitheatre vibe, Joel, is pretty special when you've got to go out there and do your thing.
Oh, you're not wrong. It's the pressure. Everyone's taking photos of you. It's all, you know, your centre of attention as soon as you drive out that and take that first corner, it's all eyes on you. So definitely when you're qualifying, that's a lot of pressure as well.
Are we getting this on camera? This is not Scott trying to look down his top. Have you found your microphone?
Yeah, no, I know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we're good.
Here's one for you then. Why do they call you the ladies' man?
Yeah, that was
ladies.
That was Mr.
Certainly not ladies asking that question.
Yeah, no, obviously not, and Mrs. wouldn't like it if she knew the real. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Ben. That was Hawkins. You know, obviously I was a little bit skinnier back in the day and a little bit more good looking. Maybe that's why he decided it. But you know, it's changed now to #MasterChef. I cook tyres really good. No, but it was fun. We got to change around a bit now. So MasterChef's a new one. Ladies' man's done.
MasterChef.
Yeah, that's good.
Do I have to use that as a series commentator? Do I actually have to use that?
Yeah, it's a new one now. Just letting you guys all know now.
All right. Morgan Lane wants to know, who do you love more, Scott, Brooke or Trento? Can you give us a bit of background to that?
All right, so obviously Trento's my car, guys, any of you don't know. And Brooke's obviously my girlfriend. So I'll probably say Brooke, so I have balls tomorrow.
That's a fair point.
Nah, yeah, I love Brooke. She supports me in everything we do, you know what I mean? Like, having a supportive girlfriend helps you through. Obviously, Beau's got Beck, you know, Brooke's my Beck. But it helps a lot, you know. Obviously, a lot of hours we put in, we're not home all the time, like Beau said, he's sleeping at Hypertune.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything, haven't been home for 3 days, getting the car ready, like... And having the supportive girlfriend that understands what you're trying to do and trying to build, you know, push our brand, not just as, you know, driver, push Blaze unit, but as a whole, having the support of a supportive girlfriend helps a lot, man.
Well, how about you then on that subject, Joel? Because your girlfriend comes from a bit of a motorsport background and a motorsport family as well. Is she into the drifting side of things?
Oh, 100%. That's part of the reason why we started dating. We met through racing go-karts, and I was lucky enough to race her brothers and beat them. But we, we've kicked off. She's definitely supporting me in what I do and my business as well. And yeah, she's behind it 200%.
How's 2015 going to work out for you? We only saw you in 3 rounds last year with the Drift All-Star Series this year. What's your plan?
Definitely show up at every meet. Try and get a lot more seat time and a lot more practice because last year was a bit of a last-minute thing. So looking to turn it up this year and really put it on the doors for the boys.
What are the things that you need to improve on, you reckon, from last year?
Definitely proximity. Letting go of the I'm not going to wreck my rap kind of deal. So it's all about getting on the doors and putting on a show for the crowd because they're the ones that come out and support us, like Scott said before. So they're the ones that are putting it on. We're putting it on for them, and it all works out even.
Is it easy to do a fixed job when it's a wrap or when you've painted it?
Oh, it's definitely easy to do it when a wrap. Just go back to the file and press print, and that's that easy. So
that's another thing a lot of people probably don't realise as well, Scott, is you guys actually connect your bumpers and everything up quite loosely so that if there is contact, it kind of sheds its skin a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Mine's just held, my front bar and rear bar are just held on by 2 cable ties each. If you have contact, you're out of the bar to fall off and fling out to the side, then wrap under your car and you smash one. I know Abbott smashed about 5 of my bars last year, so I don't really have any left, so we've got to sort of keep them tight, mate.
Runner-up last year, Scott. A lot of impressive names coming back to the series for the Drift All-Stars. Trip to Queensland, South Circuit, also South Australia. Can you go that one spot better this year?
Oh, yeah, man, I'm pumped. Like having all these drivers on board, like Jab said earlier, just to drive with all these guys that are quality drivers makes you a better driver at the end and makes it more entertaining. And I'm pumped to have all these bigger names in there this year, and it's just going to mean that I've got to drive harder at the end of the day, which I'm pretty much ready for. Go for the top spot, mate.
What's the one thing that you're most looking forward to in 2015?
Pretty much just hanging out with the ICU boys. They're all back together, you know what I mean? Like, me and Jabs really couldn't afford to do AGP last year. We decided to go with the Hi-Tec because it was local, it was a new thing, blah, 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 blah. Having them back in it, it's just the camaraderie of having, like, all mates there, all trying to do the same thing. That's what makes it worth the end of the day. You can throw all the money, all the time, and you want to end it into this sport. Having a laugh with the boys, and even if you lose a battle, having them there, it sort of softens the blow a little bit. So I think all the boys that are going to be involved in this competition this year have the same vision, which, Hi-Tec Oils and Achilles Tires have as well. So we're all there virtually just push this vision and make it happen at the end of the day. And I'm just pumped, man. I'm happy to be a part of it. All I want to do is drive at the end of the day. That's it. Like 6 years just putting all this time and effort into this car, building Blaze Unit as a brand. That's, all I want to do is drive and drive as hard as I can and put in a show for the crowd and get a slap on the back, maybe a little cuddle, whatever.
Well, these are the dates that you can get slapped on the back once again. If you missed it at the beginning of the show, we do have 4 rounds confirmed as part of the Drift All-Star Series, thanks to Achilles Radials and their 3-year partnership now coming on for the future, as well as Hi-Tec Oils back again. It all kicks off very soon. In February, it's on the figure 8 circuit. That'll be a night round, just like the grand final in December, and then a couple of trips to the South Circuit. That October one, by the way, just following the Bathurst weekend, is actually in conglomeration with World Time Attack. And going from last year's figures, World Time Attack was an absolute treat, and that's probably going to be the pick of the rounds in 2015. And don't forget, a trip to also Queensland and Adelaide looks to be on the horizon. One last final thought from you guys. 2015 going to be bigger and badder than ever?
Yeah, man, it's going to kill it. If everything works out the way it should, then pretty much everyone's going to have a good time, and we're going to have a good time doing it. Everyone's going to have a good time watching, and we can all cuddle at the end, like I said.
One
big cuddle.
One final question that I'm going to throw your way is coming from a competitor, and he wants to know who can bench press more. I'm talking about John Papadopoulos between you two right now. Papa's back in the series, and he's asking the big questions.
Oh, no, I've been going to the gym. I've dropped about 10 kilos since the last round, so...
You're going to need a new race suit then?
Yeah, I've got 2. I had my skinny one before. I have to buy a new one for FD. So anyone wants to buy a suit, I've only worn it twice. The way I'm going, I'll just sell it to you cheap if you want. But I'll probably bench more than him. If not, I'll just drop him.
Is that fair?
Fair call.
It's always the silent ones that
Can't,
you
can't
got
beat him, join him.
that you've got to watch out for, boys.
Coffee.
Thanks heaps, and good luck this year.
Thanks, Chad, man.
Thanks, Chad.
Pumped.
All right, well, that's all we've got time for of what's been an unusual hour. I reckon we should do this more. This has been cool. I like this. We're used to seeing these guys going sideways around the racetracks, and I especially liked, and I should say thank you to anyone who's thrown us some questions tonight. It's been a pretty fun night, and hopefully we get a chance to do this again sometime in the future. Don't forget Hi-Tec Drifting Australia on Facebook. Find them online soon as well. They've got a new website coming. There's lots to look forward to in 2015. Don't forget the Drift All-Star Series. It's going to be in South Australia, New South Wales, and also Queensland, and it kicks off in February. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. We'll see you at the racetrack.
Abbott is all over the back of Coulson. He's right on the range of getting off the circuit.
I think I'm clear.
Whoa! Man, a big unload here. Very, very sideways just then, right on the edge.
Oh, last corner now. Schembri trying to close that gap, and the back's getting away from him, and he's spin. He's lost it. He's looped it round. It's going to be a 10-0. Oh, right to the switching point. That is as close as you can get.
Together and contact.
Oh, this is big. Abbott backs it in and backs it in too much. He loses it.
Oh! But not Abbott, absolutely measuring. He is chasing with aggression.
He was close to Motorsportstv accent. He just turned it. Abbott really has this one to hold on to. And look at Abbott.
He's just living up to the hype. You want the last battle for the year to be nice.